Alrighty, guys. Welcome back to the channel. And today I got another movie review for you. You say you like these reviews, you like to hear me give my opinion on certain movies. So that's what we got for you here today. Encourage you to hit that like button if you enjoy. You're looking for movies just to watch. You need some ideas, something to recommend it. Hit me up, man. Your boy watch movies and just got through watching Ghostbusters Afterlife. Uh a much anticipated movie. And I'm about to go ahead and just give you my thoughts and opinions on that movie right now and, go ahead and give it a rating, uh, recommendation, whether you should see it or you should pass on it. So, with that being said, uh, yeah, hit that like button, subscribe if you're new. Thanks for coming by the channel, and let's go ahead and get into it. So, the movie opens up with a aged Egon Spangler, who is pretty much just I guess he was trying to basically attempt his capture on our main protagonist Ghost, which is like, man, all of this stuff, man, I'm gonna be honest with you, everything in this movie made me feel like it was supposed to be the Ghostbusters movie that we've always got from the last one, whether it be three. Some people consider the game, Ghostbusters, the game, to be that the third installment of Ghostbusters, the franchise. We ain't even gonna talk about 2016's Ghostbusters. That was a sham, a farce, um, just a whole bunch of non-funny comedians, despite maybe one of them. Uh, and a story that made absolutely no sense, in my opinion. The Ghostbusters in 2016 or whenever it came out was an absolute joke, and that shit is not canon. Um, Unlike this movie right here, it is from the jump, the way, the tone of the movie, the way that it was carried, it had that feel from the old movies, that Ivan Reitman movies and whatnot. And I heard Ivan Reitman's son was the one who directed this movie, I believe, or maybe that was a 2016 movie. But um, nonetheless, this movie right here definitely picked up where the Ghostbusters left off. You know what I'm saying? If you are a fan of the Ghostbusters from back in the day with Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, Harold Ramis, may he rest in peace, and Ernie Hudson. The whole cast, Sigourney Weaver, all of them. You know what I mean? Janine, who I can't remember who the woman who played her, but that was the Ghostbusters that had me dancing in the 80s. You know what I'm saying? Who you gonna call? Ghostbusters. Dun, 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 dun. My mom used to love that song. She used to always say it to me, sing it to me. But yeah, man, Ghostbusters, this movie right here had that same spirit. It had that same heart in it. You know what I mean? From the little mama here on the left, which would be the story, basically centered around Egon's family, his daughter, his grandchildren, picking up the Ghostbuster legacy. You know what I'm saying? It just so happens that his granddaughter, I think her name is Callie, if I'm not mistaken. Let me flop over here to the I think her, yeah, Phoebe is her name. And yeah, she she's practically Egon made over. You know what I'm saying? Scientist, super smart and whatnot, very open minded with a character. She played the character very well, and she carried this movie on her shoulders with her performance in it. And I give her all the kudos to in the world, because she actually did that. And this was that was cool. McKenna Grace, she did that. You had Finn Wolford, of the guy. I think that was the guy from Stranger Things, if I'm not mistaken. I think that was him. Then you got Paul Rudd, of course, with his awkward funniness. I mean, the cast was pretty much well rounded out. I really enjoyed the relationship between Phoebe and Podcast, the little Chinese kid or Mexican kid, whatever you want to call him, is right there. And I could have dealt without the older brother and old girl here on the right. There's a little relationship to hints and whatnot. Uh, But King Woodbine was in the movie, and he dropped probably like the cheesiest line in the whole movie, even though it was the catchphrase of the franchise. Just him saying it just didn't feel like it needed to be said, you know. But nonetheless, end up having some financial issues and whatnot, and end up getting inheriting Spangler's Egon's farmhouse, which was really one big ghost busting machine that he completely built because he foresaw this in the future. He's been basically ever since then fighting the battle against Gozer. And I know who y'all, when I say that name, you probably rung a bell, but there's also a bunch of other things in here, nods to the old series. Of just basically, it felt more canon than 2016's Ghostbusters with the names that they were using and the way that things were going down. It felt like the telling, the coming to an end as of a franchise as it should have been. I honestly don't think that they could have done it this good given the circumstances. It took a hell of a lot of writing and competent writing, not just writing stuff on the word paper and it don't make sense. They actually cut some, filled in some gaps as to what happened with the Ghostbusters. You know what I mean? As far as I'm concerned, Bill Murray, Ernie Hudson, and Dan Aykroyd coming back to this movie, unlike them showing up in 2016's Ghostbuster, meant more in this movie because that back then in 2016 they were just a cameo. Hey, look, it was the original Ghostbusters and everybody you love, but we don't love the people that's in the Ghostbusters now. You know what I mean? In this movie, Ghostbusters Afterlife, I can get behind this cast, and I probably will watch it. I'm going to watch this again. This is the Ghostbusters that you want to have in your collection to finish your Ghostbuster collection. If you have all the movies, if you have both movies, the Ghostbuster game and this movie, you're good. You don't need 2016's Ghostbusters movie because that movie was absolute garbage, and the actors in it were just as bad. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's the thing about that. Chris Hemsworth was even in that movie too. Yeah, that's right, Thor, and it was still bad. So, yeah, the writing, that was just a little cash grab on the franchise name of Ghostbusters, but this movie right here lived up to what Ghostbusters truly was, and it was good. I'm glad I sat down and actually gave it a watch, man, and I recommend y'all do the same thing. Now, I know that you got a lot of people on here who probably don't like this movie, or you've seen reviews that probably just was like, man, nah, I didn't like it, blah, blah, blah. Like I said, I don't watch movies like everybody else watches movies. I watch movies on a different level than most people, and I can see past what they want you to see and how they want you to take the movie and see what they were going for. With this movie, I didn't have to look too deep. Usually, some movies these days, I have to try to see exactly what they were trying to connect. With this movie, everything that was happening felt natural. It felt like it was made to connect with the canon of Ghostbusters. So yeah, I recommend you watch this. Watch this movie. I'll give this movie a good 4.5 out of 5. You know what I'm saying? It has some parts that were hit or miss, some things that could have remained out, but nonetheless, we even had a new Slimer. It wasn't even Slimer. His name was Muncher, and this mother, he looked like Slimer, and he ate metal. I mean, the way that it all came together in the end, and then at the very end, being able to see, and spoiler, because I know I might not have to drop many that would have mattered, but I'm going to go ahead and spoil this one because it probably was my favorite part out the whole thing, is when Egon came back to help Phoebe hold her photon gun. And all of them, even Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, and Ernie Hudson, they each look over while they all tasing him and whatnot, and tasing Gozer and Zool in them. And it was a hell of a moment, bro, to actually see the 4 original Ghostbusters on the screen, whether it was a CG version of Harold Ramis, which looked damn good, in my opinion. Honestly, it's probably how it would have looked. He would have looked had he been alive and in this movie. He didn't talk because I guess it's because he was a ghost or whatnot. So he didn't talk, but it was the face. I guess that was the best way they could have delivered it. And honestly, it was a hit, man. I will be watching this movie again. I suggest you, if you hadn't seen it yet, go ahead and give it a hit. You know what I'm saying? Guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you new, and yeah, thanks for coming by the Bearded Beanie review. You know what I mean? I guess that's what we're going to call this setup when I just watch movies and TV shows and review them and give you my opinion on it. So, yeah, guys, go ahead and hit that like button for the Bearded Beanie review, and I hope to catch y'all again here. Let me know what you think down in the comment section. Yeah, that's about it. Y'all take it easy. Peace.